What up, what up, what up? Oh my gosh. Okay. Back to it. This is episode 19 of The Sharp Note. I'm your host, Blitz. Uh yeah, so this is this is not a podcast. This is not a podcast. Ugh. Um don't know what else to call it though. But anyway, so I just be talking. I'd be talking about two things, life and music. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Life is going okay, and music is also going okay. I am making progress on some stuff. Not a lot of progress, but just progress. So I have these two projects I've been working on for the past few months, and one is more close to being done than the other. But I what on one of them I wasn't really happy with. So on the one that is almost complete, there is one track I am not happy with. All the other there are seven total tracks, and six of those seven I am happy with, but there's this one that I'm not, and I don't know what to do with it or to just like completely replace it. I might just completely like take that one out and put another one. But I don't want. Well, see, the thing is, I don't really want to do that because I like what I did with that track, or I like the idea behind it. I just don't like. I don't like what I did with it. So I think I'm gonna redo that one, which means it might sound pretty different, but it's gonna use all the same like elements and whatnot. So yeah, I'll probably do that. But then on this other one, there are 13 total tracks, and I made two new tracks to finish it out. So I have all 13 tracks, and I think I have a decent track list of like one, two, three, four, all the way to the 13th. Um, and there's debatably a couple that I'm not happy with on this other album or this other whatever I don't know. But well, I say that, but oh, and actually no, I said I made two. I didn't. I made three tracks that are newer that are gonna be in this album, and like a couple of these most of these tracks I made last year in 2024. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah. Seven tracks I made in 2024. The other six tracks I made in 2025. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah. And three of those tracks in 2025 I made recently. So the date I made these tracks are all over the place, but I need to basically remix all of them and redo all of them because some are, well, like, all right, the oldest track in this, well, there's two, and hmm, yeah, there's two. There's two tracks that I made about the same time and that are in this. One, I know how to make it better, and it's almost like good. And then the other one, again, I know how to make it better. And so those are the oldest ones, but they're from May of 2024. And then the newest one is July of 2025. So, yeah. Um It's just sitting down and actually like going through and making the changes and whatnot, because I know the second I open up even just one of these, I'm going to spend like an hour or two at least fooling with the MIDI notes and just the sounds and the timings and the mixing, and then I'm going to export it, and then I'm going to go play it in my truck, and then it's going to sound, I'm going to find more problems with it. But then that's the thing. At some point, you just need to call it done. And none of these are, I can call it yet that they are done. And there's 13 tracks. So if I'm going to spend at least an hour or two each one, that's at least 13 to 26 hours ballpark. And that's like a part time work week. And now I could do that, but then that would take away from everything else I got going on in life. And the thing is, once I start doing the first one, I'm going to want to, when I don't like to spread it out. Like, oh, I mixed this one like a month ago, and then I'm mixing this one today. I want to do them all back to back to back to back, so it's all like, so I need to just pick a week and do it. I need to just do it. But I haven't found the right time yet. And well, really, I'll never find the right time to do it. I just need to just do it. And then the same thing with this 7 track album that's almost done. It's so close, but there's one track I'm not happy with, and it's gonna take me probably like an hour or two to redo it, remix it a little bit, and then it's probably gonna take me a bit to do each track, just one last mix. Uh, and I don't know. Yeah, it just takes time. It takes a lot of time to like, and intention. It takes a lot of time and intention, not attention, intention. Well, attention too. Like ATTENTION, attention, but intention, INTENTION. And I have the right intention, I feel like, to finish these things, but I haven't put the attention to finish these things. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. I just jumped right into it today. Yeah. So that's music things I got going on. I'll finish this stuff soon, man. No one's waiting on it, so screw it. But I do need to finish it up soon. I want to. And it's actually coming up almost on the 1 year anniversary of the first project I ever, quote unquote, like released. I put it on YouTube and SoundCloud. Uh, July 21st, 2024, and today is July 18th. So 3 days. It's the end of the day today, so really like 2 or whatever. It's almost midnight, close to it. Anyway, so that's crazy. It's already been a year. Really a year and a half since I started to get real serious about producing. It's been a year and a half already. Ugh. Time goes by so quickly. It really does. If you're like younger than the age of like 18 right now, I know everyone tells you this, but time goes by so quickly. It goes by, it feels like it doesn't when you're that age, but it does. It's going by faster than you realize. Like, it like you don't even, that's the thing. When you're like, when I was 16, 17, I didn't realize how fast time was going by. Now I'm 23 and I realize, oh yeah, 23. I had a birthday a little while back. Um, I'm not gonna say when, but I don't want to drop my DOB. But I'm 23 now, and I remember being 16, 17, 18 like it was last month or yesterday, like I'm 23 now. Oh, and that's not even old. That's not even old. Like I'm glad cuz here's the thing. I'm glad I feel this way now because I've the thing is I'm aware of how fast time is. And so I feel like I've tried to be more deliberate with my time and what I put my time into and how I spend my time. Now, don't get me wrong, I still waste a lot of time. I waste a lot of time on stupid stuff, and I need to get better. But I have improved from what I used to be. Um, and I don't know. I've just you can only just little by that's the goal is to little by little get better and better every day. And it's like that it's like that one YouTube channel. It's called Smarter Every Day. That guy Destin, I think his name is. He's really I like him. He's kind of he's a little corny, I'm not going to lie. But he's I like his philosophy cuz he's like if you just try to get smart a little bit smarter every single day. A little bit better every single day. You just that's all you can do. Is to try to be a little bit smarter, a little bit better every day. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be top of the world, but just try to be a little bit better every single day. A little bit smarter, a little bit just I don't know. Anyway, just make better decisions. Yeah, man. So, music's going on, life's going on. I have this job I'm in now and I've applied to some more jobs because this was technically supposed to be just a temporary position for a little while. So I need another job. So I've been applying to places, and I've gotten decent at filling out applications. I can do an application pretty quick now. I've seen it's so funny the memes where they're like it's like a horror game and the monster chasing you is a job application. That's so funny because it's so true. It's like I low key hate filling out job applications, but I've gotten decent at it now, so it's really not that bad. And it's a necessary thing. Like to obviously, if you want a job, you have to fill out an application. Unless it's if you're not honestly, if you're not filling out a job application for a job, um, it's not really a job worth having unless you're like a high schooler doing some summer job somewhere. Then you might not have to apply. But if you're doing anything good, like that's worth doing for work, you're gonna have to fill out a job application. It's just, and you should be. You should be. Because they need to know about you and your experience and what you've done and just your capabilities. And it's not even like a personal thing. Like I don't know. It's just they need to know where you're at. It is a personal thing, but it's not at the same time. It's like I don't know. It's very hard to describe, but neither here nor there. Job applications suck ultimately, but they're a necessary evil in the world. I just hate the job market right now. Cause so here's the thing. Well, if you go back a couple episodes, I graduated, and I talked about that. But since graduation, it has been a pain to try to find like entry level positions. Um, Unless you're doing something like well established, I'll say I don't know. Yeah, unless you're doing something well established, there just won't be entry level positions. Now, look, when I say well established, I mean like the medical industry or uh trades, even just trades, like trade work. You become an apprentice, and then you later on you become a journeyman, and then you can, I don't know, you can work your way up, but there are entry level positions. There are true entry level positions. Whereas with technology, there are not. They don't exist. They do. They do exist. I'm not like, all right, so let me go back. The entry level positions for technology, which is the industry that I'm in, or I want to get into anyway, there are hyper specific entry level positions. There are no standard entry level positions. There is no standard. It just, you find what you can to get in, and then you get the experience at that position, and then you move on to something which actually is more established, and like a more established position that requires experience. Because that's the thing with technology. Every position wants experience. They all want you to have experience, 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 experience. And I don't care. And honestly, like I don't care what industry you're in, what you're doing. A lot of they all want experience. You can be in any industry, and they're gonna everybody wants experience. But there are more established entry level positions for some of these other like industries that the tech industry just does not have. There is no standardized, oh yeah, you get in doing this and then you go do this, whereas like now like I'm trying to think of a good example. Yeah, I don't know. Um but there's just straight up, there is no standard like pathway. There is no, like, you just have to make up your own path. You just have to find what you can, do what you can, and just finagle your way into the tech industry. Um, because it just doesn't exist. And the reason, I'll tell you exactly why that is because even, all right, if you want to compare it to like even just like stock trading. Stock trading has been around for 100 years and some change. Um, the medical industry has been around. Modern medicine, anyway, has been around again 100 years and some change, and even thousands of years before that, like or at least hundreds. So the medical industry has been around for hundreds of years, and modern medicine in its current form has been around for at least 100 years and some change, like 100 years. And like I said, stock, like business and whatnot. Like I don't know, trades have been around for thousands of years, and trades in their modern form has been around again for like about 100 years and some change. Um, and when I was talking about like stocks and whatnot, I mean like banking as well. Like that's um, uh, I don't know, but tech tech has only been around for, I don't know, let's say total 80 years, but the internet, I classify the technology industry as solidifying itself as a legitimate industry in like the like 80s and 90s when the internet started to become a thing, because the 80s was like, well, kind of the 70s, but I don't know. It was really, in my opinion, like the like 80s, 70s and 80s was when it like kind of started. So I said 80 years. Really, it's like 60 years. And 60 years ago was only 1965, because it's 2025 now, right? Let me do that math real quick, because I might be getting that wrong. No, yeah, yeah. 60 years ago. So the technology industry, let's say 60 years old, but it really started to somewhat grow in the 70s and 80s when like computers started to get more ubiquitous, and like personal computers, because they started to get real small. And Steve Jobs, he was one of the first to jump on that train with the Apple Macintosh computers. And he gave a presentation one time on modular computing, because he was like, that's the future, is modular computing. And, and he was totally right. Because, like, well, okay, perfect example. In like the 60s, 70s, you had like terminals. So if you've ever heard the term terminal, basically all that was is it was a screen and a keyboard that hooked with a long wire to a central computer that wasn't even like what you were typing on, and what you were looking at was not the computer. The computer was in another room on another floor, um, and like multiple people would use that computer, and you would just tunnel in to that computer, and the computer would do the things. And what you were using in front of you was not a computer; it was just a keyboard and a screen that connected with a long wire to another room to where the computer actually was. And then they figured out modular computing, like I said, and then they built computer like PCs where what the screen and the keyboard were connected to a computer right there on your desk, and it was the computer. So it was not a just a so like those old terminals, if you open them up, there's nothing in them. It's really just like or I say there's nothing in them. Obviously there's stuff in them, but like there's no actual computer in there. There's nothing doing actual computing. It's just, yeah. Anyway, it's a weird concept to explain, but it's basically like how you connect to a server now. You connect to a server. It's like if you were to use your PC now to connect to a server, same concept. You're except similar concept anyway. Okay, that's neither here nor there. So that was like 70s, 80s. They started, like having PCs and whatnot, and then 90s. That was when the internet went public, because the internet was invented by, well, I don't know about invented, but no, yeah, I think it was invented by the U.S. government, and it was only used by the U.S. government for a long time. And then in the 90s, it went public, where anyone could get internet access. And at the first version of the internet was just like read only. It was basically just going to websites and getting information. That was it. There was no interactability. And then they came out with what they called Web 2.0, and that was where you got like interactability. So they had like chat forums and email, and you could upload pictures. But before that, it was just like you just had information and whatever, and you would go to the website to look at it, but that was it. There was no like, oh, click this button to talk to this guy here, or make a post, and or have a chat forum, like I said. um that did not exist, and then it later did. Anyway, but that only started to exist in like, what was it, like late 90s, I think. So the internet, like technology in its modern form, has really only existed in the past like 30 years. So the technology industry as a whole has only really existed the past 60 years, and in its modern form has only really existed for the past 30 years. So it's still a very young industry, but it grows so quick. It has grown so fast. And now we're at the point where it's, in my opinion, it is almost like the wild, wild west of workforce. And that's why it's so risky to get into the technology industry. In my opinion anyway. I might be, someone might disagree with that, but it is crazy. And it is young. It's a young industry. And that's why I feel lucky getting into it now before it gets worse. Because I do feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. Because I give it another 20 or 30 years, and we might be, the technology industry might be more established. But give it 5 or 10 more years, and it's going to be even worse than it is right now. Because at some point they're going to realize, like, people, society, when I say they, I mean society as a whole, and just the people, like businesses and whatnot, they're going to realize, fuck, we need people to, we need a proper established like methodology for people getting into the technology industry, working in the technology industry, and then retiring from the technology industry. So that entry point, the sustained point, like active, sustained, whatever, and then the exit point. Like that process needs to, for like a workforce, needs to be established. And it's not at all. It does not exist. That concept is like a foreign concept to human society, which it makes no sense to me, because like that's such an obvious thing to me, that like you need people coming in, you need people who are actively working, and then you need people exiting because they've outlived, maybe they're retiring, or they're too old, or they've just like the industry has surpassed them, like they couldn't keep up, they couldn't adapt to, whatever the reason may be. Um, but that's such an obvious, like, process, I guess, in my mind, that like I'm surprised it does not exist yet. But it just doesn't. It just doesn't exist, and it's fine. It is what it is. But sooner or later, it will exist. It should at some point, and I just hope it's sooner rather than later. But I do believe it's going to take another 20 or 30 years for it to really get to that point. Because we're still figuring out. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. Um, there's still a lot of places don't even have a technology department in their like business or whatever, especially small businesses. Now, obviously, if you're a business of any decent size, there's a technology department, or at least you outsource to a company your technology needs and whatnot. But it's not standardized. There is no like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there is no like, well, okay, perfect example. You have an HR department. You have your like your board, or whatever, like board of officers, and you have financial department. You have accountants. You have your legal department with lawyers and paralegals, and you get my point. That's a like there are established roles and all this stuff. IT, or like just technology in general, yeah, you have like maybe an IT director, and then now they're starting to push more like cybersecurity stuff. So like you'll have a cybersecurity, like a chief information security officer. That's what they call them. Um, yeah, it's they're still figuring out the structure of this stuff, man. Like they don't even know what the hell is going on. No one knows what's going on, bro. No one knows. There is no like this is the way you do it. With many industries there is. Like like I said the medical, legal, even like I said HR, in just like business and like business administration, and there's a set this is the way you do it right here. With technology, dude, no one knows. No one. There is no like. This is the way you do it. There, that does not exist. You just kind of like ball on a budget, bro. That's you just go. You just do it. Like get it done. Just get the tech in there, get it working, and just keep it running. It's crazy. It is honestly crazy. No one knows what the hell is going on, and it's scary. That is so scary because but see, here's the thing. They're trying to figure it out. The human society is trying to figure it out, but we have yet to land on it. And people think like cuz dude, it was literally a generation or two ago that we didn't even have computers. Computers didn't even exist like a couple generations ago. And now they do, and they're taking over the world, and human society has not adapted yet. We have not adapted to true technology yet, like in using it and having it in our lives, and just we have not figured it out yet. We have, like we're doing it. Society that we're doing it, but it has yet to. It's there's still a lot of work to be done. So much. There's so much that needs to be done still. It's just crazy. I'm sorry for going on this whole rant about the tech industry, but it's just how I feel. From my perspective of working in trying to get work in the tech industry. No one knows what the hell is going on, and but people are trying to figure it out. Someone's trying to figure it out. But that's the thing. You need like I said, standardization. Like again, you have like legal. You have lawyers, you have paralegals, and then you have different types of lawyers. So you have like um, I don't know, patent law, tax law, uh, like prosecution, litigation. Um, I don't know. You get my point. There's these established, you know, things about it. With technology, that doesn't really exist because it's just on like an individual basis. It's like, well, this business does it this way. This business does it this way. This group of people they do it this way. Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. It's scary, is what it is, really, in my opinion. And then that's why cyber attacks are so bad is because there is no like real standardization, and that's the point of cybersecurity is to start to try to kind of like figure things out and standardize it, get everybody on the same page, dude. Cuz that's the thing. You need everybody on the same page. You need everybody to agree. Like this is the way we're going to do it. And we have yet to really get that done yet. Because people don't want to be told this is the way you need to do it. They don't like to be told that. But they need to be. People need to be told how to do things. They just don't like to be. Because everyone thinks they're the smartest person in the room. I rarely think I'm the smartest person in the room.
I try not to anyway. I try not to think that way. Now, I am confident with my intelligence in certain topics, but I know where I am dumb. I am dumb in a lot of topics. There are many things. Well, perfect example is music. There are so many, like, oh my gosh, there are musicians who can tell you so much about music theory and just like how to make good sounds and melodies and what makes a song, like how to make just good music. And I that's just one topic I've been learning for, you know, a long time. I've been obviously listening to music my whole life, but I've been like really dedicated to learning music for the past year and a half or more. Um, and I've learned a lot already, but there's still so much that I don't know. So I would consider that a topic that I am dumb in. But I know more than the average, I guess. I do know I know a thing or two, and I can make a beat or a song. Like I can put together something. It may not be the best in the world, but I can put together something. I know that much. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not the most intelligent person in the room. But so many people, that's how they think, is they think that they are very smart and they know what they are doing and how to do it best do it. But here's the thing. There are so many things that no, you don't. And even the things you think you're doing right, I promise you there's bound to be a better way to do it. It's that way has not been discovered yet by like human society, and we have not agreed on a better way to do it. So literally everything you think you know that is this is the best way to do it, there is likely a better way to do it. It's just we haven't discovered it yet, or you haven't discovered it yet. It might be out there, and you just haven't like realized it yet, or you haven't discovered it or whatever. So that's why it's so important to like do well. Like this, the whole scientific community is based off of peer review, and honestly, the main point of that is that well, one, you get other people to check over your work and to verify that your work is actually good. But then two, it's so that you're not like duplicating effort. So like you're not doing something that someone else is also doing, or you're not like you don't do something that someone else already did, but they did it better than how you're trying to do it now. It's like that's why you read so many papers in the scientific community so that you can understand what exists and you can know what's aware or you can be aware of what currently exists in basically like all of human knowledge. And yeah, that's it's crazy. I don't know. All right, I'm sorry for going on this whole rant. But it's just it's crazy. Life is crazy. There is so much to know, and also humans, we know basically nothing. We think we know so much, and we don't. So I've essentially I haven't given up like learning. Obviously, there's still so much I try to read like very consistently. Um, and there's still so much for me to figure out and know. But I've given up trying to. I don't know, like for lack of a better phrase, be perfect because it's just not gonna happen. It's literally can't happen. Um, and not that I was ever like, oh, I was trying to be perfect, but I was trying, like, well, when I was younger, I would try to, I don't know, just do what I could to make it like perfect. Like, all right, perfect example, a good example is like with art. Whenever I was drawing something, I tried to always make the lines like perfect and just like, and I would draw and, uh, or like painting, I would try to like paint like really well, and that's just not, it's not going to happen. You're not going to draw the perfect line. You're not going to paint the perfect paint stroke. You just, but here's the thing. You just have to do it, because it doesn't matter if it is perfect or not. What matters is that you did it. Not no one else did it. You did it. And yeah. So I'm a very detail oriented person. I try to be anyway. I feel like I am compared to like most people. So, there's so many people who they miss so many details. Um, like they're just not detail oriented people, and so they'll forget something, or they'll miss something, or they won't think of something. I try to think of everything, and or everything that matters anyway. Like there will be some things I just don't think about. Um, or and because I'm human. Like I'm just not gonna think about that thing. My brain is focused on other things, so I'm just not gonna think about that. But and then again, that goes back to my point about peer review. That's why the scientific community is based on peer review, is because you might be really a detail oriented person, and you might think of a lot of things, but you're not gonna think of everything. You aren't, because to think of something, the act of thinking requires like really like two things. One, it requires brain capacity and intelligence. And the next thing it requires is time. You need time to actually have a thought. Like me going on this whole rant about all this stuff, it requires time for me to talk about it and to consider these things, and to like, it just requires time. And you only have a limited amount of time on this earth. So you as a human, based on your capacity to think and your intelligence to think and the time you have on this earth, like being alive, you can only think of so many things. And that's why I said earlier in this recording that I tried to be more, I am continuously trying to be more deliberate with my time, and deliberate with just what I spend my time on. Um, and even just like me talking about this stuff, every word I say, I try to like it matters pretty much. Not every single word matters, but I try to talk efficiently. Let me put it that way. And I try to talk clear, where people understand what I'm saying. Someone can understand what I'm talking about. Because that's the thing, is whenever speaking language, the whole concept of language is to convey a thought, or to convey information, and whatever. You get my point. So the goal, I guess, in my mind, is to speak well enough that like people understand what you're saying. So I don't know. Okay, I'm going off on tangents, but anyway, uh, sorry. I know I've been. I'm sorry to anyone. You know this. I'm drunk. I'm not too drunk, but I've had some tequila. Um, yeah, tequila slammers is my third one. So, um, but honestly, yeah, I'm not really that drunk. I'm just tipsy in a way. Uh, yeah. I only drink like once a week. So this is my night. This is my one night a week to drink. Um, and I don't drink every single week, but anyway, whatever. Tequila's been my go-to recently, though. I like whiskey. I like bourbon. I like vodka. I haven't really drank much like rum or anything. Or I don't know. But tequila is my like go-to. It's been my go-to for the past couple months anyway, or the past I don't know maybe year.
And I get whiskey every now and then, or bourbon. I'll get that every now and then, but rarely. Honestly, rarely because um something about like whiskey and bourbon, it just makes me like I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm drinking liquid candy, if that makes any sense. Whereas when I drink tequila, I feel like I'm drinking it's like cleaner. Clear liquor in general. I feel like it's just cleaner, whereas brown liquor is more I don't know. It's in a way more like liquid candy to me. If that makes any sense. If that makes any sense to anybody. And the reason I'm using that phrase liquid candy is because from that '70s show um in one of the episodes of that '70s show, they go up to it was like I don't know who all went. It was like Eric, Donna, Hyde, Jackie, and Fez. They go up to this like cabin somewhere, and long story short, Fez starts drinking, or Hyde is like looking through the liquor, and he's like, "Oh yeah, drink this," because Fez is like, I don't know, like feeling bad or something. I can't remember. And Fez takes a sip of it, and he's like, "Ooh, liquid candy." And it was some brown liquor. And so whenever I was like, "Oh man, that's a good way to kind of word it." So yeah, brown liquors to me just taste like liquid candy. So and I just don't. I'm not a big sugar person. Now don't get me wrong, I like sweets. I love some sugar, but I don't at the same time. I don't like it as much as some people, and I can't. I just can't eat it that often or drink it that often. And brown liquor to me just tastes like liquid candy. So I'll have it every now and then because it's good, but I can't drink it consistently. Whereas like tequila is more refreshing than like I don't know. It yeah. So that I can drink more often. Or like vodka, but vodka to me is just kind of more or less bland. Um, Tequila is more like spicy. Vodka is more just like rubbing alcohol to me. It's just like vodka to me is like just pure alcohol. Like if I just want, if I want to take a drink, just any drink, and just make it an alcoholic drink, I'll throw some vodka in it for the most part. Because I mean, if you just want to make a like take a literally a random ass drink. Okay, perfect example. Like a Gatorade. If you want to make a Gatorade, an alcoholic Gatorade, put some vodka in it. Because it's like I said, it's like vodka to me is like pure. Now you could put tequila in Gatorade, and that would probably be pretty good. But I don't like maybe I don't know. I think the vodka would just be better, just because the vodka wouldn't. Tequila would add flavor to the Gatorade, whereas the vodka,
quote unquote flavor it would add to the Gatorade is just alcohol. You're just tasting straight alcohol, in my opinion. That is the flavor of vodka. Is it's just straight alcohol. And I don't know. That's my opinion anyway. I don't know if that's the perfect way to describe it, or if I don't know. Again, someone may disagree, but anyway, not to talk about a bunch of alcohol and whatnot. I've already been talking for like 50 minutes. Might go ahead and end this episode. I appreciate anyone who decided to listen. Again, this was episode 19 of the Sharp Note. This is not a podcast. I've decided this is not a podcast. But I have been your host, talking your ear off, Blitz. Yeah, man. I'm going to get these projects produced sometime soon. I'm going to get them wrapped up and finished and released. So if you're listening to this later on and they're already released, go ahead, go listen to them. Currently, right now, I have Buckingham Beagle released. So that's neat. And also this other project that I did under a different alias. Um, what did I call that one? I don't even remember what I called that one. Oh, I remember. Of All Music. I called it Of All Music. Because, yeah. That's not. I'm not going to explain it. But anyway. Again, I appreciate anyone who decided to listen to me ramble about just work and life and music. Yeah, really just life and music. That's the point of this podcast. I'll just be talking about life and music. Yeah, man. I have a couple books I need to read. I've been neglecting reading these books, but I'm gonna read them sometime soon. I got a bunch of books I'm trying to read. Go read a book. Books are good. Books are nice. Books are really good. You might hate reading. Don't get me wrong. I hate reading too. And I did for a very long time. But and I in a way refused to read because I just hate reading. I hate the act of reading, but I always love learning things, and the best way to like learn things is just go read about it. So it pays to get good at reading. Trust. So go read a book. There are many good books out there for you to read. There's so much that like you would find valuable by reading it. Don't read some bullshit though. There's a lot of bad books. Don't There are so many bad books. But there are also some great books out there that are very worth reading. Honestly, you want a good book to read? You want a fun book to read? Go read One Piece. Go buy the manga and read One Piece. That's one of the books I'm trying to read, but that's a manga, so there's pictures, of course. But if you want to read a book with like some information in it, I don't know. Just look up a topic that you are interested in. There's bound to be some books on it. Like in some like credible books, some like really good books that you wouldn't even have thought existed. Like this group, like this organization wrote this book or whatever, or this I don't know. Just pick a topic that you're even halfway interested in. There's a book on it. There's many books on it. And there are some good books. There are many good books. There's also many bad books. Again, you just got to filter out the bad books. Don't read those. Don't filter out the bad shit in general. All the bad shit in the world, you got to filter that stuff out and just only give your time to the good stuff. Only give your time to the good stuff. Don't ever give your time to anything bad, because it's the one thing you have on this planet. If you're listening to this right now, that's the one thing you have on this planet is your time and attention. It's the one true thing that you have. Don't give it to something bad. Give it to something good. Give it to something like even just me recording this. I've been talking for the last 54 minutes, 55 minutes. to me, this is good. This is good because this is another episode. This is episode 19. I'm not going to record another episode 19. The next one's going to be 20, and I don't even know what I'm going to talk about when I ever record episode 20. But before I even get to number 20, I need to record 19, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm recording 19, and I'll record 20 next, and then I'll record 21, 22, 23, 24. I don't even know where I'm going to stop, where I'm going to call it and say, okay, I've recorded enough episodes of the Sharp Note. That's it. I'm not recording anymore. I may do this for the rest of my life. And that's the thing. I can do this for the rest of my life because it's just I grab a microphone and I start talking about stuff. There's no real like work in it. So I theoretically could do this for the rest of my life and I'd be perfectly fine. I'm 23. I've got so many years and years and years I can just keep doing this, and I'm going to. That's my plan. So there theoretically should be many, many, many episodes of the Sharp Note. Most of them I'm just talking about again life and music, just random bullshit that happens in my life, and just random bullshit that happens as I'm making music. So I don't know. Maybe someone finds them valuable. Maybe someone doesn't. Some one man's trash is another man's treasure. So some people might like these, and some people are gonna hate them. That's just the way it's gonna be. And I don't care. If you like them, great. I hope you stick around. I hope you watch more episodes. If you hate them, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's just not for you. This ain't for you. Go watch. I don't know, Mr. Beast or some shit. Like, go watch some dumb shit. All right, that's it. I'm done. Peace.